is Francis with Casa De Francis. Welcome to my tiny itty bitty small piece of space on the internet. I wanted to come in here and do a couple of things. I just bought one of these rolling carts. I'm going to try to put that together. In addition to doing that, there's an eclipse going on right now, and I'm actually on YouTube watching it through the NASA, the Ring of Fire 2023 annual solar eclipse, and I'm watching it through the NASA thing. So I'm going to try to put this together, and I'm going to watch the eclipse as it's going on, and then we'll see if we can put this rolling cart together. Just watched me, or maybe you kind of watched me, you saw me put together my little rolling cart. I do like the color green. Green's my favorite color, so I'm kind of excited that I put this together. Of course, I got extra pieces because things weren't lining up right? Don't you love it when you finish a job and it's supposed to give you exactly the right amount of tools and accessories, and then you still have a bunch left? Story of my life. Anyway, back to kind of what I'm doing. I bought this because I saw a lot of people on YouTube and just on random places have this extra rolling cart, and they put their books on it. I thought it would be a good idea because my bookshelves are completely stuffed, so that's kind of why I bought this. I'm going to kind of go through some books that I've read and books that I've recently picked up, and I'm going to put them on this shelf, and hopefully they fit. So first up is The Passage. If you watched my last YouTube video, you would know that I was reading The Passage. I had only read about 300 and something pages before I put it back down, and oh my god, this book was so epic. I absolutely loved it. I did struggle a little bit because, as I said, it had been several months since I read the first 350, 360 pages. So when I picked this book back up and started reading, it really took me a while to get re-familiarized with the characters. I was just like, oh, I had to think, like, is he from the first colony? Theo is brother of who? Peter is whose brother? Michael, Sarah, right? So I had to, kind of, get reacquainted with all the characters. But after that happened, the story went rather quickly, but that's something that I did struggle with. So I did that, so that was awesome. It was an epic journey. So in the back of the book, it says, an epic and gripping take on a catastrophe survival. The Passage is a story of Amy, abandoned by her mother at the age of 6, pursued and then imprisoned by the shadowy figures behind a government experiment of apocalyptic proportions. But Special Agent Brad Walgas, the lawman sent to track her down, is disarmed by the curiously quiet girl and risks everything to save her. As the experiment goes nightmarishly wrong, Walgas secures her escape, but he can't stop civilization from collapsing. And as Amy walks alone across miles and decades into the future dark with violence and despair, she is filled with mysterious and terrifying knowledge that she has the power to save the ruined world. Fantastic book. I just recently got the 12, and I think that's part 2 of this book, and I'm going to read it soon. But I just finished this, and it was absolutely fantastic. Recommend it. It fits. Very good. The next book that I read, very quick read, was The Patient. I bought this from Book Outlet a couple of months ago. It's kind of a spooky book, so I decided to get it. It was really good. It's only about 200 pages. Not bad. Very quick read. Something I read in a day. It's about this psychiatrist who has recently graduated, and he's kind of on this trip, like he wants to cure everyone. He wants to save someone. He meets this person, inpatient, who's been inpatient essentially since he was the age of 6, and he thinks, I can cure him. I can figure out what's wrong with him. And as the story goes on, you kind of find out there's something interesting about the patient that prevents him from being cured, and their efforts to kind of figure out what's wrong with him and how he got this way. So this is a very good book. Some new things that I recently got. There's a bookstore not too far from kind of where I lived, and I just wanted to buy a couple of books. I'm not really a hardcover fan, but I did pick up a couple because, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling the hardcover recently. So, The Terminal. I heard this was a great book. Haven't really read anything. Now, I've heard this book is like part of a series, like 20, 25, 30 books in a series. I don't know. I'm hopefully just going to read this one and see how it turns out. But I bought this for $5 at Bookarama. Nice, it fits. I put this on one of my Facebook groups, and I posted this book, and they said that there's about 15 in this series. So hopefully I can read this book by itself and it makes sense. But I'm going to look into the series and see if I need to read all the books to make sense of this book. So another possible read. This one seems really good. I've never read anything by Jody. It says, everything changes in a single moment for Dawn. She's on a plane when the flight attendant makes an announcement. Prepare for a crash landing. She braces herself as thoughts flash through her mind. The shocking thing is, the thoughts are not of her husband, but of a man she saw 15 years ago. So it already sounds scandalous, right? She's not even thinking about her husband. She's thinking about some other man. So I'm excited. I hear really good things about this particular author. I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm not even going to try this. So I just simply refer to her as Jody. But I'm excited to read this book. And it is hardcover. I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll see. What else did I get? The 620 Man. I don't know. I was on Amazon, and it was like on clearance. Plus it had like a $3.50 coupon off of it. So I thought it was interesting. This book says, every day without fail, Travel puts on a cheap suit, grabs his fake leather briefcase, and boards the 620 commuter train to Manhattan, where he works for an entry-level analyst at the city's most prestigious investment firm. In the morning, he gazes out of the train window at the lavish homes of the uber-wealthy, dreaming about joining their ranks. In the evening, he listens to fiscal news on his phone, already preparing for the next grueling day in the cutthroat realm of finances. Then one morning, divine tedious routine is shattered by the anonymous email. She's dead. I'm interested. I've never read anything from this author. It seems kind of like a thriller. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know how it is, or leave me a comment about what you think it is. But there's another one. So far, I'm like really liking this setup. It's working for me. This is the last book I bought. Listen, anything that has like this biohazard sign in, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to probably buy it. It begins in Africa. A United Nations relief team in a small village in the Congo makes an alarming discovery. An unknown force is leveling the evolutionary playing field. Men, women, and children have been reduced to a dull, kinesthetic state. The environment surrounds them. Plants and animals have grown more cunning and predatory, evolving into this exodus pace. The insidious phenomenon is spreading from a cursed site in the jungle, known to the locals as the Kingdom of Bones, and sweeping across Africa, threatens the rest of the world. So I'm excited. I don't know. It sounds amazing. I like anything that has to do with the inner world, biohazard, things like that. So I'm very excited about this book. The next thing is kind of an unboxing, I guess. As you know, Prime Day happened not so long ago. Is that what it is? Prime? It was like on the 10th of 11th of October. So I picked up a couple of things. Let me see. I forgot what I even bought. The first thing I got was this one. This one seems very interesting. Oh, wow. So this is kind of like sailors and things like that. My friend was like, you should check this book out. So I went ahead and bought it. So I'm excited to read this one. So far, I'm like really liking this little card. And this card I bought on Prime too. So whatever the Prime Day, I bought this too. And I think it cost me like $22. So it was very inexpensive. All right, let's see what's in this one. I get packages every day. If you get packages every day from Amazon, leave a comment. Every day I get something from the Amazon guy. It's an obsession at this point. Oh, very cute. So I bought this as I'm on a Facebook group with a bunch of book lovers, and one of the girls on there was just like, oh, they have Game of Thrones in this leather bound book thing, so I decided to buy it. And now that I'm looking at it, it looks like really small. Let me carefully open this so I can look at it. I have something like this. I think I have a series like The Hobbit that's very similar to this, where it's like leather bound and they're like smaller than normal books. Whoops. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 books. I'm not really familiar with Game of Thrones. I didn't really watch the TV show, so this will be like my first kind of introduction to it. I heard the books are really good. Look how cute. It's like almost like a little Bible. Oh my goodness. Look how tiny this is. Like, I don't know. This is like super, super small. Very portable, but this is significantly smaller than what I thought it was going to be. I don't know. Yeah, this is a pretty thick one too. Here's the second one, which is just as thick. The third one, like they're almost equally as thick as each other. So, yeah. I am going to hopefully read these eventually. I'm not really in a rush to read them. I bought this whole set for like 30 something dollars, and I thought it was a good buy, especially when people tell me how good of a series it was. So that's why I kind of got this. So I'll put that here. Look at it. It's not bad, right? I could put like a couple more books here. Do any more books? Maybe put my Kindle there. Kind of put it on the side. Very cute. I'm so proud of myself for putting this together without asking for help. Hello again. My computer camera just died, or not my computer camera, my regular camera just died. So I'm on this grainy computer webcam camera. It is so terrible, but I just want to kind of get through the rest of my list. I had a couple of more recent books that I bought that I forgot to put on there because I left the box outside of the door. Classic me. One of the books was this one. I'm excited to read this one. This book reminds me a lot of A Little Life. Like the cover seems really raw and just vulnerable. So I'm very excited to read this. Let me see. The winner of 2020 Booker Prize. This is an unforgettable story of Hugh Snuggy Brain, a sweet and lonely boy who spends his 1980s childhood in a rundown public housing in Glasgow, Scotland, taking care of his beloved mother, Agnes. Agnes is a proud, beautiful woman who turns herself out like the idol Elizabeth Taylor, but she is enthralled to alcohol and spends most of her family weekly benefits money on extra strong lager and bottles of vodka. A heartbreaking story of addiction, sexuality, and love. I'm interested, right? I kind of like these books that kind of put me in this mode to really think about how, you know, fortunate I am to have grown up in the community and the loving household that I brought up in. So I like to read something that's outside of kind of my normal realm, and this is definitely one of them. So I'm excited to read this one. The other book that I recently got was Thinner. Guys, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Thinner is absolutely fantastic. I could read this book 1,000 times and never get bored of it. I remember first watching this as a movie as a child with my mom and thinking like, "Oh, this is crazy." When the gypsy lady touches his face and was just like, "Thinner," or was it a man? I don't remember. I think it was a man that was like Thinner. And yeah, there go begins the tale of Thinner. Thinner is about this lawyer who is, what is he doing? He is a prosecutor or something like that. It's been a while since I read the book. Anyway, after leaving a trial, he accidentally hits a woman and kills her. So it kind of chronicles his life after he hits the woman, and the gentleman, I think her brother, father, or something like that, puts a curse on him, and he has a limited amount of time to kind of figure out what to do and how to get rid of this curse per se. And there's a couple of twists and turns in the book, but if you do not have this book, like, you need to get it. It's not a long read. It's 330 some odd pages. Absolutely fantastic. I would recommend this book 1,000 times over. So Stephen King, Thinner, always a classic. It's October still, so if you're in October and you're thinking of something, pick this book up. The last book I got is another Stephen King book, and it's called The Fairy Tale. I'm not really quite sure what this is. I really like the cover. I heard a lot of good reviews just on the internet, so I thought I'd pick it up. It says, Charlie Reed looks like a regular high school kid, great at baseball and football, a decent student, but he carries a heavy load. His mom was killed in a hit-and-run accident when he was 7, and grief drove his dad to drink. Charlie learned how to take care of himself and his dad. When Charlie is 17, he meets a dog, Raider, and his aging master, Howard. A recluse in a big house at the top of a big hill with a locked shed in the backyard. Sometimes strange sounds emerge from that shed. Charlie starts doing work for Mr. Broditch and loses his heart to Radar. Then when he dies, he leaves Charlie a cassette tape telling a story no one would believe. What Broditch knows and has kept secret for all of his life is that inside the shed is a portal to another world. So, not typically a type of horror book that I would normally read. There seems like there's a hint of fantasy in it, which is okay because I read Year One. I didn't expect to really like it because it had a fantasy aspect, but it was okay. But I'm excited to read this. Lastly, here's my cart. This is the thing that I put together in the video. You can't see the bottom of it, but it turned out so good. I'm so excited. I'm going to keep stacking it with stuff. I'm probably going to buy another one, but so far I'm very happy with it. I just wanted to pop in and kind of give you guys an update on the rest of the books. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.